A Brief History of Instructional Design and Technology for KSP 643 by Christy, Julie, Glenn, Barbara, and Deb. The history of instructional design and technology may go back as far as the early 1900s, when the Keystone Company provided visual education in the form of lantern slides. Not long after, Rochester Public Schools were the first to provide films for instruction. But it wasn't until the military started using AV in its training in the early 1940s that the use of technology began to take off. Bloom's taxonomy and Gagne's theories, as well as the studies of Shannon and Weaver on the importance of process over media, soon followed and helped to shape the foundation of instructional design and technology. This prompted funding by the Ford Foundation to put educational television in schools, and although the Carnegie Commission saw little impact on education, it was the start of something. By early 1980s, computer-assisted instruction is introduced and used in business and higher education. And by the early 90s, the internet is being used more and more, and not just in higher education. Just 10 years later, 93% of schools have internet access. And today, in 2015, technology is used to solve problems, analyze data, and develop multimedia presentations. The history of instructional design and technology started out as using technology because of its new and exciting capabilities, such as audio with the radio, visual with film production, and eventually audio and visual through video production. In the early 1900s, theorists realized the potential individualized instruction through the use of audiovisual technologies. The U.S. government used these technologies to produce instructional trainings for the military during World War II, and after the war, instructional television gradually turned into the use of computers in education. Government funding for media research and curriculum development began in the late 1950s. Through the research of theorists such as Skinner, Piaget, Bloom, Major, and Gagne, individualized instruction systems were developed that are some of the basis for instructional design and technology today. In the 1970s, the field of educational technology was defined, and computers were used to improve employee performance and increase efficiency in organizations. By the 1980s, schools began using computers because of the interactive capabilities that could be used to adapt instruction to all learners. In the 1990s, the large majority of American schools utilized computers and internet, but this was mainly used for drill and practice and computer skills such as keyboarding. Since then, technology and instructional design has gradually become a synchronous process for delivering content to the learner in order to achieve intended objectives and produce outcomes. The evolution of technology and application of models and theories have presented educators a unique opportunity to revolutionize education if resistance to change can be overcome. A definition of instructional design and technology. Today's definition of instructional design and technology can be summarized as identifying and analyzing the big picture problem through formal and informal evaluations. The plan or design of instruction looks at the learner's skills and desired outcomes to determine the best theory or model to implement technology as a way to guide learners to mastering the objective. The design process needs to motivate and meet the needs of the 21st century learner through differentiation and personalized learning in a technological environment. Key areas for a successful design include ethics, facilitation, and improving performance by developing student-focused course materials that increase students' knowledge, skills, and abilities. As technology evolves, so must the processes for designing and implementing technology into the learning process through continuing evaluation and adaptation. Thank you for listening to our brief history on instructional design and technology.